Hey, everybody. I'm Pastor Megan Rohrer at Grace Lutheran in San Francisco, and I have created a website called transitionalwisdom.net, along with my good buddy.
Hi, I'm Zander Keig, licensed clinical social worker living in the state of Florida.
I went to seminary in January of 2002, and while I was there, I met Zander, and Zander was getting a master's in theology, one of your 3 master's degrees, am I right?
That's right.
And we really hit it off and would have really amazing conversations about the state of the world, about LGBTQ stuff, about trans issues.
And it was a couple of weeks into my time at Pacific School of Religion in Berkeley that you said to me, I think you like Margaret. And Margaret was this other student in school that I had hung out with a few times. And I thought, I'm not really sure if that's true, but I thought I'd give it some good thought. And then it turned out that I wanted to see if it was actually true. And I got to tell you, this September, Margaret and I will be celebrating our 18th anniversary. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Yeah, because so much came out of that experience.
We also, at that seminary, like Lauren Cameron would walk their dog.
There he was, Lauren Cameron, with his little chihuahua and his cat, both off leash. And when I had read or looked at basically Body Out, his book of photographs of himself and others through transition, that was when I was in college so that would have been, 1996 or 97, 98 when I saw it. It was life-changing for me. So to see him just sort of walking around campus there in Berkeley with his dog and cat, I immediately approached him just to make sure it was him. And I only saw him a few times, but it was some sort of sign to me, like I was in the right place. I had chosen the right seminary to go to.
And kind of just developed a friendship out of that, kept in touch over a lot of years. And what we ended up doing is working on 2 books together. The first was Letters For MyBrothers, Transitional Wisdom in Retrospect, which is a bunch of letters that people wrote to themselves about things they wish they would have known before they transitioned. The second book is called Manifest Transitional Wisdom on Male Privilege. And editing these books together was kind of a way to take our relationship to a completely different level, thinking about how we not only tell our stories, but help support other people to share their stories and to be mentors to each other. And I think part of that comes out of the fact that Zander and I both really appreciate the long history of transgender folk who mentored each other and wrote letters to each other and tried to give each other real high quality information rather than just the information you would find on Google. And Zander had an idea book, still has an idea book, maybe many.
I do.
And I just said, Zander, I love your ideas. Open up to whatever pages and read me a bunch of your ideas, and we're going to just check a bunch off of them.
This idea of letter writing, specifically within FTM community, is that I had been introduced through my mentor, Jameson Green, to Lou Sullivan, who had passed in 1986. So, I hadn't met him in person, but I had learned about him through Jameson, who is my mentor still to this day. It's been almost 15 years now. And he's also a good friend. And he showed me a bunch of letters that Lou had received from trans men all over the world. And so that's where the idea came from when I put it in my idea book was, there were so many YouTube videos popping up at the time, and they were very anecdotal, and people were very new in transition. And so they were putting out information as if it was gospel truth of what it was to be trans and what transition meant and how hormones affected you. And it wasn't going to be applicable to so many people. So the idea was, well, let's get a broad range of stories from individuals ranging in age from their 20s to their 60s, in transition up to a year and over 20 years and everything in between. People who were married, people who had children, people who were professionals, clergy, the whole gamut. So I think that's one of the gifts of the book, and just one of the gifts of mentorship is being able to be exposed to a breadth of resources and information from, maybe even just a couple of people, but they're ahead of you in whatever journey you're about to take. And then as you get further in your journey, then you can pick up people along the way and mentor them, right? So it's just an ongoing relationship of being able to glean from others and then pass on to others the wisdom of the transition and what it's like to socially transition, medically transition, legally transition. There's so many different aspects to transition.